Morning. Morning. Sleep good? Yeah. Hold on. Give me a second. Hello. I'm just gonna pick up stuff. No, my word, Gabrielle. You just got up? Yeah, I did. Yep, I went to bed. I'm very tired. I had to. I need a good I need a lot of sleep. The last couple of days have been very mentally draining. So I decided just to come home and just sleep. So I did ship out all the books today. So this is really cool and really neat. What you do is you kind of just push it back in. That one will go. Here, I'll just go back in. And this is very cool. It's like magnetic. Hold on. Let me show you. Hold on. Very neat. All right, here we go. So teaches them how to trace. And then you can do it again. And here's E. Not sure why that's going like that. And F. No, it's for my son. The son that you say that's not here. Mic drop. Ugh. Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hey, how's it going? I'm good. Whoopsies. I'm gonna drop that. Right on, that's fine. Okay. Don't. There we go. Hello. I got lots to do before I go and leave. What do you got planned for today? I have parenting classes to go to. How long do you have to do this for? 13 weeks. So that's all voluntarily. I did it voluntarily. There's nothing wrong with taking parenting classes. If that's embarrassing to even say, then yikes. So do you believe in love at first sight? No. You either. I agree, a lot of parents should be taking that. I actually like it. Aaron does too. And I really think that if you're a first-time parent, I mean, listen, there are things that I've learned that I've seen parents do that we're not supposed to do. So, yeah. But again, there's no handbook. But if you do take a parenting class, it helps. Like, you just don't realize until you get it from a different perspective. Hello. What are some of those things? Well, for instance, let's see. Trying to think of a good example. Like talking down to your child, making your child feel like they're nothing, screaming and yelling at your child. Let me see. Anger, self-control, redirection, discipline, what's up? It even talks about newborns, like nurture. It talks about a lot. It's like a whole book. Here, I have the book. Let me go get it. I'm gonna tell you some things. There you go. There's lunch. Okay. All right. Okay. Possessive and violent relationships. Okay, that's one. Let me see. Children's brain development. Potty training, preschooler development, feeding young children nutritious food, keeping my children safe, developmental empathy, criticism, confrontation, and rules for fair fighting, problem solving, understanding and expressing anger, children's self-worth. Let's see. It says self-worth is overall value people have of themselves. A self-worth consists of what people think about themselves and how people feel about themselves. Self-esteem. 4 primary sources are responsible for strongly influencing self-worth. 10 ways to improve children's self-worth. Put children in situations where they can succeed at doing what you want them to do. For instance, if a child is unsure of himself, give the child an opportunity to develop self-confidence by experiencing success, such as helping pick out fruits and vegetables or pushing the shopping cart. Expect the child to succeed in a small, specific situation. If you expect children to succeed all the time in all situations, you will be very disappointed. It is not a realistic goal. Every time you see your child behaving in a desired way, praise him and write it down. Try to remember other times in the past when you have seen the desired behavior, and then you can have a list of or a story of success. You could either read this to your child when the child is feeling down, or use it at bedtime. Tell someone else how the child is behaving and make certain the child can hear you. Call someone and recount the success. If no one is home, talk to the dialed tone. Make it realistic so the child believes you're sharing the pride. You're sharing your pride. Show respect for the child's feelings and opinions, even though you might not agree with them. Honor your child's opinions and feelings by saying, I can understand how you might feel this way. The child's feelings and opinions are part of the child as much as your feelings and opinions are part of you. Be patient. Change is a process. It takes time to change. Stay focused, and above all, be consistent. Let's see. Empowerment, developing personal power in children and adults. Never use threats as choices. Example, if you don't leave your sister alone, I'm going to break your neck. Never give choices when there aren't any. Example, son, would you like to get your coat on? We have to go. If the child answers no, but he really has to get his coat on anyway, he never really had a choice. Never give a choice when you cannot accept no as an answer. And this is discipline. Verbal and physical redirection. So appropriate examples of verbal redirections. Chairs are for sitting, no standing please. Inappropriate examples, no standing on the chair, you'll fall and break your neck. The right way to do it would be no standing in the tub, sit please. Quit standing in the tub, what do you want, an accident? Oh, what a nice toy, put it back on the shelf please. Yes, I see your new toy, now just don't leave it on the floor. There's just a lot. It says nurturing, diapering, and dressing routines, bath time, body image, health and nutrition, fetal development, foster and adoptive children. Yeah, I mean, adults' brain and physical development. I mean, it really is a good book. I mean, it really is, actually. You learn a lot. Stop. Oh, that's a little aggressive. I mean, I only did 3 classes so far. The only thing that I've learned is discipline and anger and self-aware and self-esteem. That's all that I really have learned so far. Which I don't know what we're going to learn today. Ma'am, did you have to pay for the book? No. What does it say about nutrition? Poor versus high quality diet. So poor quality diet says increased risk of miscarriage and stillbirth, premature baby, low birth weight, poor brain development, more difficult labor and delivery, increased complications at birth, abnormal small placenta causing fewer nutritions to reach the baby. Is that what you're talking about? I'm good, how are you? So a healthy quality diet is a healthy full-term baby, less risk of a miscarriage, healthy brain development, few complications during labor and delivery. I'm not sure. As long as they're getting food in their system, let them eat what they want. Basically, I don't really know if that's what you're looking for. Also says calcium and iron and, hold on, nutritioning, that's bath time.
Read it.
Let's see. This is just explaining how to get your baby to eat something that they don't want. Nutrition for kids. Do they talk about that? They should. Hang on, let me go into... Here we go. Developmentally nutrient. No. And this is the 125. Says to get your children to... Alexa, turn off! Says to get your children to think of food as something they want, not something they need to reject. Okay, one way to encourage positive attitudes towards food is to allow your child to eat larger than usual amounts of one wholesome food than others. Remember, the older the child gets, the more his attitude and taste are changing. Continue to offer servings of your child's less preferred foods, but don't expect your child to enjoy these foods as his favorite. It says, encourage your child to begin to feed himself around 9 to 10 months. Practice with finger foods, bread crust, and other foods. Children will want to pick up the food with their fingers. Let them. Expect a lot of accidental messes. If you're worried about the rug, put some plastic under the high chair. Encourage your child to use a spoon. Give him reasons to use it at the beginning of the meal when he is the hungriest. Let him try to get the food on the spoon and into his mouth. Again, assist your child in feeding himself with a spoon. Praise his efforts. Tell him how proud you are of him trying to feed himself. Don't worry about the table manners. Touching, smashing, squeezing, and smearing food is an early form of child's play.
Don't punish your child or take his food away. Remember, building positive attitudes towards food and eating is nearly as important as the actual eating of the food. And then basic facts of children's sleep. Although different children may have different needs related to sleep, there are some basic facts about children's sleep. Infants are born with irregular sleep cycles that almost takes about 6 months to mature. Expect your baby to have some difficulty in establishing a consistent pattern of sleep. Newborns sleep an average of 16 to 17 hours per day. However, they may only sleep for 1 to 2 hours at a time to 4 to 5 hours at a time. As children get older, their need for sleep decreases. Toddlers and preschools generally need 10 to 12 hours of sleep each night. I mean, you just don't like, I mean, because parents don't really have a handbook, right? So like, it's just, it really does help. I wonder how many really go buy this book. I'm telling you, it's when I first agreed to going to this parenting class, 'cause remember, it's voluntarily. I didn't have to do it. But I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'll learn something. So I'm like, sure, why not? And Aaron even learned something, because like you just don't really, when you do these classes or even just read something, you just think to yourself, I never thought about that. It's only required if it's by a judge. It never was. But that's not my point. My point is basically, regardless if you're in my situation or not, I think a lot of people should do it. Because the one thing that I was told by my teacher was, what did she say? She said, when you grow up in a home raised by your mom and dad, you parent how they parent. You take over. And if your parents did some things that, are not right or wrong, you project it to your own children because you think it's right because your parents taught you that. And then, so, I mean, yeah. Now, here's what I'm going to do. I asked the teacher about autism because there's a lot of, and she's like, Gabi, I'm going to be honest with you. This parenting classes might not be for an autistic child because of and she explained, she goes, you can learn a few things here. So I asked the director, and I said, is there any parenting classes for autistic children? And she said, yes, there is. So I am going to be taking a class and meeting other moms and having a support group and understanding when I'm done with this class. Because I can learn a little bit from this, but the teacher did say, it's going to be a little different with an autistic child. So I'm looking forward to that. I already reached out to the teacher for autistic children. So I'm looking forward to that. So I don't know. I think especially, I don't care if you're a first-time mom and a first-time dad, or you have 3 children or 5 children. If you take this class, it does not mean that you're a bad mom. It does not mean that you suck at your parenting. It just means that maybe you learn from something. Maybe you learn something in that class or a book, and you can do better. But only you have to make that decision. But don't ever say, like, don't think that, like, it's embarrassing because you're a shit mom. Just, we all need to learn. What do you mean? I'm really proud of you for this. Thanks. Listen, I could have said no to this. I could have said, nah, I'm a good mom. I don't need to learn this. But see, for me, I love to learn new things. That's just me. I'm like, you know what? Hey, it's free. Okay, sign me up. That's just me, though. And we learn about spanking. Now, I don't really like to spank. I'm against it. I feel like if we spank our children, then they're gonna say, okay, mommy and daddy hits me, so I'm gonna hit back. And I think it makes them more angry. But that's just my perspective. And for example, like when you go into a job, my teacher explained this. You don't want your boss. Okay, how can I explain this? So like she said, if you went into your job and your boss was like, you did this wrong and don't ever, do it again, and like just being really harsh on you and mean and just like disencouraging you and making you feel like you're nothing. And so when we do things to our children, and like you wouldn't want that to be done to you, so why would you do that to your child? We all have to sit back and think, how would we want to be treated? And I don't know. There's just a lot that I've learned. Like, for example, here, let me show you. She wrote this for all of us. Ugh. And so there's 3 modifications. She said if you do this, you could have not like a perfect child, but a decent one. So it says behavior management. It says have house rules, use humor, develop constant routines, use redirection, and give choices. And then she says behavior encouragement would be give stickers, give high fives, use verbal praises, give hugs, and give allowance. Could be money or time. Don't know what that meant. Behavior modification, she says remove privileges, grounding, express disappointment, resolution, and then timeout. It says spanking and or hitting of any kind or any kind is corporal punishment and should never be used to punish. So she wrote this, and I remember she did say show, express, or disappointment. So, okay, so one thing she said was you never want to guilt your child to make them feel shitty. So you never want to say, you made mommy sad. You never want to make your child feel like that. So what she meant was she basically said, okay, so for instance, she did an example. She always taught her children not to steal. Okay, we all do, right? And then later on in life, they get a call from the police department saying that your child's been arrested and you need to come down to the whatever, cell or whatever, police department. And so she did, and her son was there. And she didn't yell, she didn't pull her child's arm or hair and do all of that, where some people actually do. And she just kind of stood there quietly with her head down and didn't really talk too much. And then the officer just said, she's like, what do I need to do, officer? And the officer told her what to do, and she's like, okay, thank you very much. And then she said to her son, all right, let's go. And she just didn't really talk. And they got into the car, and she didn't talk. And the son was talking, and she said, let's not talk right now. And so they got home. And what did she say? She said, instead of yelling and things like that, she was like, what did she say? I can't remember what exactly she said, but she said it in a way that to make that child understand. I can't remember what she said. Oh, my word. My mom would say, go to your room and think about it. Not talking is the worst. I can't remember what she said to her son, but it was something to like not make your child feel guilty. It was more like, disappointed? Yeah, kind of. I'm disappointed in you. Yes. Yeah. Around those lines. And then for, what was it? Restitution, I think she said for one instance. So let's just say your teenager got her driver's license, right? And takes your car for a drive. She said that her daughter did the exact same thing. She got her license. She took her mom's car. She went somewhere and she went too fast and she went over a bump or whatever. And I guess the oil leaked or whatever. Okay. She did. And then she called her parents and her parents came and, she wasn't yelling because, we all make mistakes. You were a first time driver. So was I. And so it is what it is. So instead of yelling and saying, you're never going to drive my car again, and da-da-da-da, and how could you, and you're not responsible, she basically said, okay, so here's what we're going to do. Since you have a job, I expect you to pay $50 out of what we have to do to fix the car. And, that's a good way of handling that instead of saying you're grounded or you'll never drive again or you're never driving my car and blah, 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 is you teach them responsibility and you basically say, and here's the thing is that in our heads, if that ever happened to you or me, you would think, oh crap, I don't want like my money to be taken out. Like I'm never going to do that again. So it just kind of teach them responsibility and then really make them understand that there are consequences for your actions when you do this thing. I'm so happy you are trying to learn about parenting. No, I'm telling you, great example. Yes. I'm telling you guys, it really teaches, I don't know. I like it because you just never know. Like you just like, okay, that makes sense. Yeah. And I'm not saying every parent is bad, but you just look at it a different way. And it's very helpful. It is. I like it. There's another thing that a lot of people do. What is it? We learn about alcohol, like families and alcohol use, smoking, and my child's health. We also learn about that. It's really amazing. It really is. 12 steps of keeping your kids drug-free. Love, sex, STDs, and AIDS. Dating, love, and rejection. Touch, personal space. I'm not going to say that because that's pretty. It's basically grape. That's what it's talking about there and there. The female and male brain. I mean, there's so much. Infant development, toddler development, preschool development. I'm pretty sure teachers and stuff, they all have to take a parenting class. I don't really know who wrote this, But I did. Spoiling your child, helping children learn to handle their feelings. So, says label the feelings you see or think you see. This will give the child a feeling of being believed and respected. Example, you look angry. And then you say you look proud or you look happy. Don't dominate the conversation. Let the child do the talking. Encouraging sharing by looking interested in what your child is saying. Children can think better when someone is not advising, blaming, or criticizing. So here's an example, okay? Examples of criticism and confrontation, okay? So criticism would be, you're just a lazy slob. Look at this messy room. What are you, some kind of pig? Look at what you did. You're going to regret that day. You're going to regret the day that you were born. Your breath stinks like a dead animal. What did you eat, a skunk? Look at you. You look like a tramp with all of that makeup on and that crazy hairdo. Don't stay out late. Don't let the guy try anything funny. And don't drink and drive. What you should say in those things that I just mentioned, you should say, the room needs to be cleaned, and I'm disappointed you haven't cooperated and followed our family rules. It looks like you made a poor choice. Hitting your brother is never okay. You will sit in timeout for 10 minutes. Your breath needs some mouthwash. I think the amount of makeup you're wearing hides your real beauty. Maybe you can. I expect you will be home by curfew. I also know that you will be careful and safe and use good common sense. Have a good time. Another example that she did, so determine if there is a difference of an opinion. So mom says, son, you and I should disagree on what time we should establish your curfew. Step 2, state your views and the views of the other person. Mom says, I believe your curfew should be 9 o'clock at nights on weekdays. In my opinion, that gives you plenty of time to be with your friends. However, you feel you should be able to stay out until 10 o'clock because you're the only one coming in so early. Get clarity. Mom says, am I understanding what the problem is? Son says, yes, I'm the only one in the whole world who has to be home at 9 o'clock. Compromise offer choices. So mom says, I can see how you might feel a little funny being the only one that's coming in at 9 o'clock. Tell you what, how about 9:15? Son says, still too early. How about 9:45? Mom says, too late. How about if we both compromise and say 9:30 p.m.? Son says, okay, 9:30 p.m. Other kids have to be in then too. Thought you all wanted her to be better. Now you're poking fun at that too. Those are things. No. What do you mean, no? My go-to is I'm not the other kids' parents. I'm yours. I think that's awesome that you're enjoying it. That was great, Gabby. Let's go. And that's the thing, that you guys can parent how you parent, but listen, I'm not here to judge you. I just think that we all can do better. My dad used to say nothing good out there after midnight. But hey, I mean, teach your own. That's all I can say. Yeah, everyone parents differently. What is the name of that book? Sure. It's called Nurturing Skills for Families, Parental-19. Here, you guys can screenshot this. It's going good. How are you? There you go. And then here's the back. You're welcome. No problem. And here, screenshot this. You guys can have this. There you go. You're welcome. Hey, listen, if I could help some other parents, listen, you don't have to say it out loud. But if you want to be better and you want to learn stuff that you think that, it's for you. Take it what you will with it. I love it. I'm going tonight. Ugh. Keep it up. Always be open to learning. Yeah. Do that. So stop. Thank you. You're so thank you. I'm not sure if you guys heard me, but I finally mailed all of the books out. We learn something new every day. We do. Yeah, we do. I feel a lot better. You feel a lot better? That's good. I'm glad. I am glad. You're welcome. What is your biggest takeaway that is in line with you? We all have room for improvement. How are you today? I'm good. Good. Wait, what do you mean? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, okay. I will let you know what I gave everybody in the book. I will know. I will tell you when they get it. It says that they would get it Monday or Tuesday. So next Wednesday I will tell you what I got. Okay? Like for the age of the ones involved in your home. It's nothing crazy. It's just something to say thank you. I'm gonna say it again. My mental health was never like this. And, in my own heart, seriously, in my own heart, I know that I really didn't do anything to be able to do the things that I'm required to do. So, but at the same time, I
Not everybody. So no one told me to go see a doctor to get on medication. I did. Because I knew what it was doing to my brain and body. And after the 28th, after I was almost not here on that day because of the bullying, I made a choice of like, I have to be there for Cam. I have to be the mom. If I am not in a good mental state, how can I parent? And I thought to myself, I need help. And I did that on my own, knowing that I needed to do what I needed to do to be a mom. And that is when I decided to talk to my doctor finally. And I told them that I need to get into therapy. And I've been on medication and therapy for 8 months now. And I am doing better. But if it wasn't for the bullying and the people pushing me to that edge, I wouldn't have to be here today. And so at this point, it is what it is. The damage has already been done. But the fact is that I knew what I needed to do. And I did it. Thank you. Thank you. Always, 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 always. Thank you. I'm proud of myself too. I am. I really am. Did Aaron go with what? Thank you. Proud of you. Thank you. Keep pushing. Keep pushing. Gabi, have you ever made a diamond art serving tray? No, I have not. Why? Like a serving tray? Wait an hour. Thanks for the follow. I'm proud of you for standing up to them bullies and showing them that you got what it takes. Yeah, I mean, and this is my testimony. And if you read my book, you will explain, it will explain a lot. And this is my book. I wrote, and I know I kept saying this, but it's not blank pages. It's actually, and I always say this, and I love to say it again because there's new people in my life. And I always said to my son in my book, and I dedicated this to my son, and basically it just says to my son Cameron, it says, I am so deeply sorry for all the times that life has felt unfair, for all the battles we never asked but had to face. Please know that mommy has never stopped fighting for you, for your happiness, your safety, and your future. Every word in this book, every tear shed, every step forward has been for you. You are my reason, my light, and my strength. When the world tried to break me, your smile reminded me to keep going. When people doubted me, your love gave me the courage to rise again. This book is not just my story, it's our story. And I dedicate it to you with all my love in the hope that one day you will see how hard I fought and how much I loved and how deeply I believed in you. Forever and always, mommy. Yeah, this is the one that's the Oopsie book. And hold on. I do just really want to read some chapters. I mean, I don't really care anymore. My book's all, I mean, I've been doing pretty good with my book out there. But this is the one. Okay, let me try to find the one that I got on medication first. Hold on. Let me read this. Okay, was this it? Hold on a second. Okay. I think I did this one. All right, let me read this one. This is when I was going to the court. Okay. No, don't spoil it for me. I want to buy it. Don't? You sure? It's only one chapter. You want to read it? Who are you? No. Okay. All right, I won't read it. Read maybe some paragraphs. You will enjoy it. Read it. Buy it. You bought it? There's a lot in here that, like, there's a lot in here. Okay, I'm gonna read this chapter. Okay, after walking out of the court feeling defeated, I couldn't stop crying. I was mentally not okay. I broke down because I was hurt. I had to go immediately to see my doctor. I couldn't accept hearing what people were telling me about letting karma get these people. I wanted this to be handled legally so it would stop. I was praying to God and asking him what I needed to do. I didn't just want to walk away after everything that has been done, but mentally it was destroying me. I was hyperventilating. I went to go see my doctor. We discussed everything I have been going through and what has happened in the court. She diagnosed me with depression and anxiety, and I said that I was in severe emotional distress. She put me on medication to help me get this under control. And that's really all I'm going to say. But and so I was on. So basically, that was on January 28th, 2025, and I was on Zoloft and what was it? Zoloft. And Zoloft and what was that medication? Lorazepam, I think, and hydroxyzine. And that for about almost a week, there's a video in my profile where it looked like I was crying. That's the day that it has all of my doctor's notes in it of my PTSD and all of that. So go check it out. But and then I was not able to take care of Cam. What about the bridge part? I did not know that I thought it would trigger a lot of people. I should have probably put it in, but I just didn't know. So I kind of just left it out. So yeah, because that would trigger a lot of people.
Motion detected at the video doorbell. 2 HNP.
And then it's your story. You put what you want. I know. I probably should. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Because I don't want people to really kind of like, I mean, I don't know. That was a big part of my story. And yeah. Why didn't you... That was because you guys took the bait. A lot of books, we read our triggers. It was my first time reading my book, and because I think all the hate says, you hurt the community, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And so I just kept to myself. I'm like, you know what, I'm not going to get, I don't know. I mean, maybe I should have done that. But anyway, so
I didn't. And if you guys really want to know what happened, I can tell you. So this is a trigger warning. So after the court, on January 28th, we went out to eat for lunch. I didn't write that too. But I'll tell you. So we went to eat lunch. It was on Reddit that somebody stalked us, and they came over and they saw that me and my mom and Aaron had lunch. And so then I couldn't really eat lunch. I was in tears. I was not okay. And I decided to say, Mom, I gotta go. And I got into my car, and I got into my car, and I was like, I was bawling, and I got into my car, and I was like, I was bawling. So what happened was, and I don't need the cops to come over here. So when I explained my story, to where I was to where I'm on now. So please do not call the cops. Thank you. Please do not call the cops. Thank you. Sorry, Erin, they stopped her from talking. Sorry about that. Erin just is calling me because he's just worried. They're gonna call the police on you. I've already talked about this before, and if they do, I can just pull up this live. So anyway, so I was in my car bawling and crying, and I just was on the bridge, just driving home, crying. And if you know, you know. And that is exactly what I got home, and I called my mom, and I called Aaron, and I said, someone needs to watch my son. So